This is Autoline Daily reporting on the global automotive industry. Yikes! Tesla stock is going from bad to worse. In January, the stock was trading at $347 a share. Now it's barely hovering around $200. And Morgan Stanley says in a worst-case scenario, the stock could drop to only $10. And it all has to do with weak sales. Morgan Stanley says there just isn't enough demand for electric cars right now. And that could be an ominous sign for all the other car companies rushing to come out with electric cars. The United States Postal Service is kicking off a test today to deliver mail with self-driving trucks. It teamed up with TuSimple, a startup based in San Diego, which has equipped autonomous technology into a Peterbilt semi-truck. The truck will deliver letters and packages between two facilities in Phoenix and Dallas and will make 5 round trips over a 2-week period. A safety driver will still be behind the wheel to take over if necessary. Once the trial is over, the Postal Service will decide if it wants to continue working with TuSimple. The Postal Service spends $4 billion a year on highway trucking with outside contractors. So, if it can switch to autonomous trucks making long-haul deliveries, it could save boatloads of money, since you won't have to pay drivers and the trucks can operate around the clock. And speaking of trucking, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration is proposing a pilot program to allow drivers between 18 and 20 years old to operate commercial motor vehicles in interstate commerce. Currently, you have to be 21 to get a license. But this would be an expansion of a program from last year that allowed 18 to 20-year-olds with military service to drive commercial vehicles interstate. The trucking industry is facing a shortage of drivers, and this proposal is aimed at helping the problem. However, not everyone is on board. The Teamsters released a statement saying that there's safety risks with allowing teenagers to drive trailers long distance. It says poor working conditions and low wages should be addressed if the trucking industry wants to attract more drivers. GM was lambasted for falling behind the Ram pickup in sales and not putting a big screen on the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra, which are both legitimate criticisms. But GM is staggering the launch of those trucks, and a lot more is yet to come. It launched last year with the crew cab versions, and the double cabs are just now in showrooms. This quarter comes the regular cab and commercial sales. Next quarter come the all-new heavy-duty pickups. So GM really won't have its full lineup of pickups available until the end of this year. That's when we'll know how it stacks up against the competition, because right now, it's kind of fighting with one arm tied behind its back. And speaking of GM, it has introduced an all-new electrical architecture for its vehicles. It's capable of managing up to 4.5 terabytes of data processing power per hour, which is 5 times more than the current system, and provides more rapid communications within the vehicle and to outside sources thanks to faster Ethernet connections. The new architecture allows for features like an electrical drive system, Super Cruise, and other safety systems to all run at the same time. It also allows for over-the-air or OTA updates and is better protected from cybersecurity attacks. The new electrical architecture will go into production later this year and should be in most of GM's global lineup by 2023. Some experts believe the rollout of new electrical architectures that allow OTAs have been delayed by dealers that are afraid of how it could squeeze their margins. Because you don't need to take your car in for service, the main source of income for dealers, if it can just update in your driveway anyway. We've got a great Autoline After Hours this week for all you gearheads. Our special guest is Carl Widman, the head of Ford's Performance Division, who will also be bringing a Mustang GT350 with him to the studio. So if you have any questions about that muscle car or any of other Ford's performance vehicles, send them our way to viewermail@autoline.tv. That's this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires. Your journey, our passion.
Do you remember these anti-motion sickness glasses from Citroen? They're said to reduce motion sickness by giving your eye a horizon to look at. I remember some people scoffed at the glasses and their $115 price tag when we reported on them nearly a year ago. But it turns out the glasses, called Citroens, were so popular, it sold 15,000 in just a few months, that the automaker is now coming out with a limited edition pair. They cost €99 and orders are open right now. And we end on a sad note. Formula One lost a legend yesterday. Niki Lauda died at the age of 70. The Austrian is considered by some to be one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time. He's a three-time champion and is the only driver to win championships with both Ferrari and McLaren. Lauda might be best known for a crash at the German Grand Prix in 1976 that nearly took his life after suffering severe burns and inhaling toxic fumes. A priest was even brought to his hospital bedside. But Lauda recovered, raced in the Italian Grand Prix just 6 weeks later, and only narrowly lost the championship that season to James Hunt. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and please join us again tomorrow.